Hello, everybody. Welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns, broadcasting to you Link to the Past Randomizer Pilot Spoiler Tournament 2022. We got the semifinals for you today. It's Team Whatevs versus It's Dangerous to Go Alone, Take Nep. Commentating for us, we have Clear Mouse and Dante, and tracking is going to be myself and Homemade Beer. Say hello, everybody.
Yo, hello. How's it going, Dante? Dante, do any of these players look familiar to you? Potentially former teammates of yours.
Well, I think all four of them seem pretty familiar to me. But yes, I did used to be on a league team with Nep and Relkin, but we got four massive gamers here in this semifinals.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to watching this one.
Yeah, and it is, my gosh, so they've gone through actually quite, not only, of course, are they very talented players themselves, right? The people that they've actually gone through to make the semis, and in what I consider to be a very, very highly competitive tournament, for Pilot Spoiler, also in this case, says something quite about, basically how much they've done, what their accomplishments are, their abilities, and I know, as you mentioned, so we've got Relkin and Nep. Relkin, of course, is the runner for team It's Dangerous to Go Alone, Take Nep. P-Train is going to be the runner for Team Whatevs, piloted by Ravis. But I mean, all four members have been, in the community for quite some time. It is very difficult, I think, to not recognize, these names, right?
Yeah, for sure. Oh, man, and it looks like we're getting underway here.
Yeah, we're going. All right. It looks... Okay, yeah, so... some, I guess, different starting moves, I guess, for lack of a better term. So historically, of course, Ravis and P-Train are taking the P-Train is going to go the money Houlihan route. So he's gonna go, and then this is gonna give Ravis a chance to kind of study up on the log, give him a bit more time to think, organize his thoughts, because in this case, and then even though P-Train's got 50 rupees out of Link's house, we're just gonna get a couple more rupees, 225. This is gonna be able to let P-Train afford any type of kind of resources early, right? Bombs, and
sure.
bottle vendor, and this is actually a really good source of money. Even Zora, maybe if we go buy Zora stuff, there's money problems suddenly become a heck of a lot easier. Looks like Relkin and Nep though is gonna take kind of the route over to Kakariko directly. And then I think she's just gonna figure out everything along the way.
Yeah, there's that bottle's kind of nice that you're gonna find there. Nothing in it, so obviously a potential trip to one of the ferries or out of the way to spend some money that we were just talking about. But we do see that P-Train gonna go ahead. I believe this is the bomb, purchase bombs play, which I think is really smart just to have those resources on hand.
Oh yeah, because especially one of the that bomb's very useful, or not the bomb, bottle, because Sikia's got our glove today. That's kind of pretty important.
Take it.
But yeah, exactly. But yeah. But as you mentioned, the bombs, I mean, it may as well just even be part of this as an opening script, right? Because you really don't know where your other weapons are. I know that some people may be more of a probably fan of swordless than others, but for others who may want to try and kill enemies early, it could be more comfortable, in order to find a sword, but you don't know when the swords are coming, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So Relkin looking to, I guess, buy some bombs as well with that free 50 at Link's house. Meanwhile, I'm assuming something's down here on South Shore, potentially behind this dam pole here, because P-Train is on his way.
Yeah, and this actually might be pretty important early on, because sometimes during the dam is actually a surprisingly long time could take. But that's the mirror. That's pretty important. Probably pretty worth getting it. Yeah, probably pretty worthwhile to get early game. But yeah, one of the comments is that we actually maybe need that Smoky to Thieves Town as well. But yeah, especially if you can maybe somehow delay it with actually going into Swamp Palace the first time, right? Can certainly maybe save you a double dip, or that drain swamp's worth of time. But in this case, because it's a mirror, I think it's very much worthwhile. Yeah.
All right, Relkin's got 10 bombs, or a few less now, and a prayer for this mini Moldrum cave. Has two of them down.
Oh, nice. Nice double kill there.
Same thing for P-Train.
Oh no, that is unfortunate circumstances. Another consequence of just being on super low health. I think he got bullied by one of the mini Moldrums, and then unfortunately just took a tumble, only on 3 hearts.
Well, it's important that P-Train get back there immediately. The boots are there. The
Mm-hmm.
game is playable.
Yeah, Rolkin, he's in quite the precarious position. He's not quite on one-hit KO, but remember when we said something about that sword?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to bring up any bad memories of being in South Shore dashing or anything like that, and maybe facing off those crabs. But looks like Roman's gonna cut his route a little short. Looks like there is something here on Hobo. Wow. Good on Rolkin, by the way, in order to set up that water walk right there, right? Like add a mini Moldrum Cave and then be able to go get Hobo immediately instead of kind of like going all the way to Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah, it's definitely a heads-up play to make sure you set that up. There's the boots for P-Train. So we got Moon Pearl on Hobo.
That's pretty important.
Flippers, but you know, we don't need the exact logic for spoiler log, right? We just want whatever's convenient.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, and honestly, like, if you've ever tried to follow P-Train, please help. Let's say, if you ever tried to follow the logic, like in keys especially, you know, for key sanity, you are going to be going to a lot of dungeons.
Yeah.
And be waiting a very long time. Yeah, it looks like P-Train. Yeah, whether or not... Oh, yeah, okay. So he looks like he's going to take a slightly different setup for fake flippering, which is also good. But I guess the consequence of him needing to do that is if he uses a bomb, he's going to have to take 100 damage. And again, in spoiler, especially on being such low health, it can, you know, sometimes you may not be able to bomb chub because you're going to bomb yourself to death versus over.
Alright, so Relkin not picking up that Thieves Town small key.
Yeah, very interesting.
That may have just been, you know, sometimes you can, if that big chest isn't required, you can use it as a convenient way to save some time in that hallway. But Moon Pearl for P-Train now, and looks like he is getting ready to fake flipper back out. We did not see this play from Nep and Relkin.
Yeah.
We'll see where they're headed to.
Yeah, that's also very, very correct. Because it looks like Rolkin's gonna head over to like Saha Eastern. This fake flipper, maybe there is something in Waterfall, potentially?
Yeah, it's very possible.
Yeah, we are a little...
If Zora's in play, like, there could be a 300 there as well.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, and you need the pearl, right, in this case, in order to actually open up these chests, right? Yes. Otherwise, you can't actually do anything, yeah. So this actually could have been very much required. Alright, we got armor. Oh, we got a dig spot. Shovel. Okay, interesting. Something is on Zora. Wait, so did P-Train like save his like water walk then or something?
I believe he did, yeah. So
wow.
That's a very heads up play. If so,
yeah,
I'm hoping through everything he did, it saved. I'm not really sure.
Nice job, P-Train. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, so let's see what this item is. Oh man. Ominous, ominous bombos. But yeah, I think that's a really good heads up play, yeah, as you mentioned. And I think this is also kind of one of the the benefits of, you know, having that extra 1 minute, you know, for the pilot, because, you know, especially for, you know, the alternative, I think what Rolk and Nup are doing, right? Like, Relkin always needs something to do, and you may not be able to see, like, immediately, you know what, this is what you should be doing. And so being able to get the bomb post finish could be really early, or that could be very good.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did have some questions in my head as to why P-Train set that water walk up but didn't use it, so now it makes total sense.
Yeah.
That was a very awesome play.
Yeah, but meanwhile, so Relkin went to Saha, and which is exactly where P-Train is here. He dug up his mitts, so pretty damn important. So we already now have mitts Dark World access, something we always really want to see. Okay, we got a small key to Castle Tower. Oh man, we got a big key to Ice. Do you foresee a Ice Palace dip, Dante? Given that looks like we've got Bombos and big key to Ice.
Having piloted one or two of these, I would, at some point or another, I would say that this could just be, hey, that's there, let's grab it. But it definitely could be leading to something. But I think, you know, a lot of times this early on, the pilot is still a little frantically searching for like an optimal route.
Yeah, and as optimal as you can get without potentially chasing, like, you know, logic rabbit holes, you know, all the while still giving your runner something to do. And oh wow, we have a sword in Kakariko. Man, that would have been pretty nice to have a little early, but still nothing. Yeah, but I mean, they still got at the 8-hour mark or 8-minute mark. Imagine
hours,
a pilot.
That's a long spoiler.
Oh man, can you imagine the seed?
Must
Maybe
have been a Doors seed.
Yeah, doors, pottery, lottery. You know, Randomizer, max health, whatever.
I guess we're headed up the mountain now on Relkin's side.
Yeah, which means that so flute is either probably in Dark World, kind of like buried behind this, because chances are if you can get the flute right and activate it, you can definitely save yourself an old man visit. Unless of course something is on old man, we don't know yet. But you know, as you were also mentioning before about following the logic or not having to follow the logic, we do see that Relkin is in a dark room with only his trusty sword sparkles to guide him. Yeah, we don't probably need that lamp, right? Anywhere.
Nah, hopefully not. We might need a fire source. We'll see. But P-Train now gonna spend that time cleaning up Kakariko, where Relkin and Nep started.
Yeah, so it looks like they're gonna grab their mitts and Dark World access. Oh, but Old Man has a sword. You know what? That's pretty dang worth it. A sword for a sword, right? Yeah.
And with Hook in hand, we'll be able to go to East Death Mountain. So we could also knock out some, Dark Mountain checks, assuming something might be there. You want to condense a mountain trip and spoiler as quickly as you can, or rather keep it as few of them as you can.
Yeah,
but we did see a lamp there on P-Train's side too.
Exactly.
They didn't have bombs, so they skipped out on that lamp.
Oh, but they were. Oh yeah, and I guess they didn't go into Kakariko proper, right? Yeah, because I think they just did Maze Race, right? And no,
Maze Race into Blind's Hut. They ran right past it, so maybe this is part of their strat.
Yeah, no, it very well could be. I mean, so I will say that depending on where that fire rod is, given that we had to go all the way out and go to get bombos, and that it's not, thanks to Ricky, he's marked our medallions. It looks like bombos is going to be the thing that gets us into Ice Palace. So if that lamp, as you said, is a required fire source, maybe Nep and Relkin need to go back for it. Just wondering about that. It did happen to game 2 of P-Train and Whatevs yesterday, where the lamp was hard required. So just something to note. But honestly, though, even if if you want to take the extra time investment in order to get that lamp, if it's just to be something very helpful for you to do dark rooms, the lamp being in Chicken Hut, I think is a very, very worthwhile environment. Investment.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it basically is a wash, if not better, to have that lamp. I think just because you're going to be over there. It wouldn't surprise me if we see potentially Relkin and Nep get that lamp later on.
Oh yeah, that's definitely true. Yeah, and I think especially for spoiler, right? If you think if you getting a safety or some item is in this case you think is a wash or even maybe a little bit worse, it's probably just on average to go get it, just because you're mitigating the risk factor a lot, right? Because you have that extra sword, armor, health, right?
Oh,
yeah. So by the way, we did see also a required flippers. We do see that Swamp Palace is, is a crystal, so we do have to eventually go do it. But looks like though Relkin and Nep are going to kind of follow, to some extent the logic, and they're going to go over now to Zora, and probably going to go pick up their Bombos medallion.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they don't have enough money. So Zora, I'm assuming, is dead. I'm not looking at.
Yeah. You're right. Anytime I think the Zora, I just think the Zora area. But you are absolutely correct. We are definitely very, very poor.
And this is a different mountain approach here from P-Train. So we are in Tower of Hera. And there is a small key here, and that is a small key to Swamp Palace.
Okay. Yeah, I'm wondering in this case so they are up here with the mirror. With the hookshot, right, and so versus going to Hera, that was a very nice Hera pot on P-Train's side. Relkin and Nep only opted to go to Paradox, but looks like P-Train and Whatevs are just going to go beat the dungeon, which is, by the way, very fair in order to go get the Swamp Small. And honestly, from a pilot's perspective, if I can send my runner to go get an early, dungeon, but you know what, we're going to go get that bow instead as well. I forgot Hera's a pendant. Anything that kind of buy me some extra time, I think is actually really good.
I guess we're going into Swamp or Ice Palace. Holy crap, this is 13-minute Ice Palace.
Relkin has I guess it was a green potion. Did he get that from Waterfall? I'm sorry, I must have
he
missed it.
purchased that.
Okay.
In
because he went to go get
shop.
the potion shop. Yeah. This is incredibly aggressive. What do you think, Nancy?
I mean, in spoiler, you do what you gotta do, and
Yeah,
sometimes it's
true.
aggressive. He does have blue mail, does have 5 hearts. P-Train's still sitting on 3, but he does have blue mail as well. So the only reason I would think you're here without a tempered, without a hammer, without a cane, you're gonna get one of those things here, something that's, or either locking, something very essential. Like a pod key. Those are kind of essential.
We did see both Relkin and Nep pick up a pod key from Tavern as well. Now, again, as you mentioned, it's early. You may not have necessarily known what's in pod, but the fact that it looks like we're picking up a second pod key means that there's, we're going to have to probably see another pendant dip somewhere soon.
Yeah. And P-Train and Ravis both going to the Dark World here.
Yeah, and meanwhile, I also, as of note here, Relkin is in Ice Palace without also the Cane of Samaria, so we're gonna go see some old-fashioned Ice Palace bomb jumping. Relkin, of course, is a very accomplished NMG runner, so this hopefully should be pretty comfortable and familiar to him. But still, another good example of why you still need to know how to get through these rooms. Or we're just not gonna. We're not flipping the switch, so maybe we're not gonna do the Ice Palace bomb jump.
All right, so those are the 2 items. That was actually really good there for P-Train, given that he was on 3 hearts. So now he's up to 5. That was 2 heart containers.
That's great. That's great then.
Yeah, with Relkin and Nep not flipping the switch here in Ice, I'm sure we're just grabbing something and bailing. We're not actually going to complete this dungeon. I mean, however, there's a very slim chance that we get somehow a hammer and a cane here. I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's actually a very good observation. Is that we don't actually have a hammer, man. This is one of those seeds where if you get missed Dark World access, man, you really want some helpful hints in order to kind of track down where that hammer is. All right, but we are actually making our way all the way over here to the right side. But oh my gosh, well, that's definitely a prerequisite in order to get into Swamp Palace.
Yeah, I feel right at home, like it's one of those in-person tournaments in 2019 where the hammer is in Ice Palace.
That actually did happen a lot, right? SGL, there were a lot of hammer in Ice Palace seeds. I'm not just making that up.
No, it felt that way. There were only 3, but it was high-profile races, so it literally felt like it was all of them.
Okay, looks like, alright, so Ice Palace also having a lot of very valuable pickup items as well. We have our second now small key to Turtle Rock. So, man, really kind of makes you wonder where that Cane of Samaria is, because P-Train also is heading into Ice Palace.
Alright,
but he is a bit more helpful.
My bet is going to be this big chest here in Ice Palace.
Is the Cane of Samaria?
Yeah, that's my bet.
All right, that's actually very reasonable. That's very reasonable, honestly. Because as we kind of saw on Relkin's side, probably soon to be on P-Train's side. If you want to do, man, Dante, have you played this game before? Out of curiosity, you just have this.
I've played it before. I wish I could guess that way all the time.
Yeah, and so
God, we're doing iced tea too. Okay.
Everything is in Ice Palace. This is amazing. Man,
the game is in Ice Palace tournament.
I guess, yeah. It makes you kind of wonder where those Ice Palace small keys are too. Oh my gosh, there's the flute. You know what? The sudden rush, by the way, for P-Train and Ravis to go pick out that Bombos medallion, and of course, Nep and Relkin, immediately diving Ice Palace. This makes complete sense. Literally everything you want is here in Ice Palace.
Yeah, we didn't need to bomb jump mainly because of our key situation, and with the cane. It's just one thing you don't have to worry about, taking damage setting up those D-boosts, but this isn't going to be a free fight for either of these runners when they get there, so it should be very exciting.
Yeah, Relkin is also missing Harp, he's not at full health, so I was gonna make one suggestion, but we don't have the Fire Rod anyway, right? So this
we can't double up Fire Rod shots, so it's just Bombos and don't get hit. That is
And don't
the
get
strat
hit.
here.
That's a great strategy. Yeah. Luckily, as you mentioned before, they both have blue mail. So, oh no, P-Train.
Oh, dude.
So he's actually gonna do the bomb jump here. Oh no, P-Train. This might be a bit precarious because P-Train's gonna hover.
I respect it. That's the way to do it, man.
Oh no, this is really scary for P-Train. I believe you, P-Train. You can do this. Nice job.
Heck yeah, let's go.
Yep, we made it. Oh.
A little sketchy for the rest of the dungeon, but there's a heart there, so he's up to 2, and I think he can get a couple more. Meanwhile, Relkin going to town on this cold stare, and a pretty low percent strats, but gets it done.
Yeah.
No drops there. I think those would have been. I think those are in the rupee pack, so he wouldn't have gotten a health refill there. I could be wrong. There is a heart P-Train can get in this next room, and that's gonna be huge. Because at this point, any heart is huge.
Yeah, but because right now, at least, like, I think it'll at least take him out of 1-hit KO mode for most enemies, right? And then ideally, you know, oh my gosh, look at that fairy.
Really huge.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh man,
Huge.
thank you. There is mercy in Ice Palace somewhere for the god. But yeah, but like any time where I think, especially for Welkin with red mail or with blue mail and 4 hearts, he at least could take, you know, 1 errant, you know, like cold stare puff touch, right, and still be okay. P-Train, as long as he, you know, has that. Oh, he needs the hammer from Spike Chest in order to go get the rest of the stuff.
It's very easy to make that mistake too.
Oh,
Just,
100%.
Like, mainly due to it's just like, okay, I know I'm gonna get this item, and when in rando you don't really think about having an item until you know it's in your inventory, so, or most times. So you know, when you know you're getting it, because spoiler, you think you have it.
Yeah, exactly right. Especially when it's like, okay, I'm going to go get these, all, you know, whatever, all these other things, right? And when you're also trying to chase down the other 50 things you have to go keep track of, right? Yes, very much,
I'm very disappointed in Relkin. He's not freeing that chicken. He got that lamp, but he didn't free the chicken.
I mean, and Nep's his pilot, right? I'm pretty sure it's all on Relkin in this point. I mean, I'm sure I have faith that Nep has told Relkin to go free the chicken. I'm pretty sure Relkin's just like, no. So. Oh, Relkin! Wow. All right. So Relkin has also been here before. That was unfortunate. He, you know, at least were able to slash out all the crowds. All right. What's here in Ice Rock Cave? Oh my gosh. So it looks like that fire source as our lamp. Maybe a little bit of PRNG for Ravens and P-Train, because you know that is required. I think that's why Relkin and Nep went back to go get the lamp.
It's possible. That's gonna be just a little pretty unfortunate, I think, for P-Train and
that's also
and
true.
Ravens,
Yeah.
If that's actually required.
Because they also got the small key from Hera from like Saha too, right?
No, that wasn't Saha.
Where was the? Oh no, it was an Ice Rock Cave. Yeah. Never mind, it was an Ice Rock Cave.
So,
yeah, and they were already here. Oh
earlier.
yeah. That actually is a very good point. Yeah, because that's right. Because it was in like the small cave we just saw was an Ice Rock Cave, in which neither team had gone before this.
Yeah, me trying to like not look at the log and also like piece together in my head what people are doing. You know that face you make when you're thinking, you like have your finger pressed up against your nose, like just deep in thought. That's me the entire time watching a spoiler pilot race.
What is the word? Codigit? Let me look it up real quick. We saw this. Yeah, it was part of the crossword earlier today, but it was like some like 8-letter word, which means like thinking really hard, and I was like, oh, that's actually a really cool word.
Okay, we did not need that Hera small. It seems that might have just been a oops, we might need this.
Yeah, and honestly, like, even going over to Ice Rock Cave isn't really that big of a deal. Like, we got food, we got boots, like, you know, just take a couple seconds and then just kind of move on.
Yeah, shouldn't be too bad. All right, again, another low percent fight here on P-Train's side. Same one we saw earlier. Does get the initial spin off. I think it's 8 of these Master Sword spins. That includes hammer hits. Any slashes are going to do half of that, so it'd be kind of half a spin if we want to call it that.
Yeah. Looks like P-Train's gonna try and, I guess, like stick out his sword in order to get more stability on making the hammer.
Yeah, some people like the strat just to make sure the hammer hitbox stays like consistent. I think it does ever so slightly extend it just a bit, but it gets one puff down. I think getting one down is probably the hardest part of a fight like this. You get one down, then okay. It gets a little easier. Two down makes it even better. So I think he's okay. Just needs a couple more hits here. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, really nicely done, P-Train. Yeah. Oh man, yeah. Thank you, Blue Mail. This is why we have this is why we have armor. Alright. I did unfortunately miss what was in the first chest of Swamp Palace on Relkin's side, but I assume it was important because we got it. Alright, so so it looks like we need both the big key and the small key to Thieves Town, because Relkin actually did go pick it up as well. Also
he did. That could be convenience, but the big key being here is nice. And they're both keys are here in the same area.
Yeah, that's also worlds. True. Yeah, only a mirror away. But yeah, you actually do make a very good point, especially in this case if like the small key is literally on the way right to something else, and we actually don't need the big chest. We can in fact basically skip that whole hallway traversal. So really nice, very cute little amount of time saved there.
All right, so P-Train gonna activate his flute now, and I think given everything he has, I mean, we could just go straight to Swamp Palace. Not sure if he's gonna opt to do anything different.
Yeah, because so definitely like the big key to Thieves Town was here, so we definitely need that key before we go into we want that key before we go into Thieves Town.
Right.
Just kind of looking at the other dungeons that we could potentially do, we are still missing Eastern Palace big key. We are still missing that fire rod for Skull Woods. So yeah, this kind of looks like Swamp Palace is kind of the place to be.
Yeah, and if there's more, we got so many items in Ice Palace, like it's almost like this dungeon's a full letdown. But we did get that Thieves Town big. That might be important. We see 5-6 crystals here on Swamp and Ice, so potentially Pyramid Fairy is something to be had.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point as well. That I did not even consider Pyramid Fairy at this point. But especially with this type of routing, the fact that we do need Pyramid Fairy, we are at Swamp Palace, and when we exit, so it's actually very nice and convenient routing in order to do that. And luckily, we both have enough money on both Relkin and P-Train's team. It is just one of those things. No, especially in spoiler, for Pyramid Fairy, you're like, okay, what do I need? I need pawn money, Zora money, dig game money, and then afterwards, you just kind of forget about it. And then suddenly, you need Pyramid Fairy money. You're like, oh no. Right, and now there's like a massive state of panic.
All right, Relka was trying some arrow strats there on Argus, but I think we're gonna just
looks like we're just gonna spin. Yeah,
All right, this is not Bo Lanmos. It's worse.
he's trying. We did get something out of this. All right, yeah, but as we're kind of witnessing, no fire rod, no ice rod, nothing really kind of speed up the fight. With the potential of that bow, I guess.
I mean, we're pretty far off way from go mode item-wise. I'm assuming by now the pilots are probably thinking a little bit about, all right, here's the optimal route. Like, is there anything else I can optimize? Are there any safeties I could find my runners along the way? I mean, we need both rods. We need an ether medallion, and we need several keys you alluded to earlier.
Yeah, and like the fact that we and as you mentioned, right, as the pilots actually finally have some time in order to kind of look at the log. while their runners are busy, because actually going through Swamp Palace is like a good couple minutes, right? Finally they get a time to say like, okay, I can actually figure out what's what the logic is, like what the route is versus like, okay, what can I keep my runner busy for the next 30 seconds before I have to go do something else.
Right.
As you mentioned, as you observed, we've got a Pyramid Fairy play. Relkin's got, I think he took some money outside of, I think in Ice Palace from the 300, and so now we have more than enough funds in order to go get whatever is here.
Yeah, both runners have their pod money at this state if we should need that. We did pick up 2 pod keys, so there may be a dive, but I'm kind of assuming things are kind of on the route, just given the things we've been finding, and like what it's leading to. But obviously, something's here. We don't do this for fun and spoiling.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it looks like no pyramid grab either. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, this is a castle tower key. All right, okay. The big key to Eastern looks pretty,
No, we're going up.
We are, but we apparently need something here. Oh, what is this? Only pyramid grab?
Dude, I thought we were going.
Do we need Zora too?
Oh no.
Dude, we have to go back.
We're going back to the island.
Yeah, well, why else would you pick up 500 on the 300?
Maybe a safety. Oh.
Okay.
We're going to pod.
We're going to pod because Relkin had 277, right? After this.
Yeah, but then he did pick up a 3. That was a 300 on the pyramid.
Right.
Taking down Cold Stare, or no, I'm sorry, Argus.
Yes.
Getting his second crystal now as well.
Yeah, I think I'm just slightly confused as to why we wanted the extra money, or maybe we need it because, like, he did want the bottle vendor key, which is also fine. But then you still have enough money for pod. But I mean, if you want more money for like potions or
sure.
maybe dig game, it's a contingency for sure.
That would be like, this would be a good time, like for the pilots, if they have the mental capacity. The pilot is allowed to watch the restream in this tournament, so. If they see that maybe, hey, we're a little bit ahead, this 300 is not going to be that big of, big of a time investment, and it'll allow you to buy a potion later by chance, then, that could be something we see pilots do or suggest.
Yeah, and also like as you mentioned, right? So we also we are watching. We don't really know where the other swords and bow are. I mean, if you're gonna be stuck on Master Sword Silverless, that you're never gonna turn down a potion at that point, right?
No, in Master Sword Silverless, we see that in normal randos where we don't have the log. Sometimes those fights can really go off the rails.
Oh yeah.
And there's a tempered sword.
Never mind. There's a tempered sword. But we are here in pendant pod. So this is our second pendant. Looks like we just want the sword. We don't need Dark Rupee Basement. We just need Dark Maze. Maybe just a very slight miscommunication, but not a big deal.
All right, Relkin not wanting to burn that key, which makes me think he needs it for something else.
Yeah, maybe Vanilla Big Key chest. Like. But I guess we have to steal mirror, right?
Possibly. The big key to this. Are we beating? We're beating Helma.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Wait, is this the? And this is the green pendant. Okay. So either Helma has something or Saha has something. My gosh! What a seed.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, well, at least for what it's worth, it is convenient-ish, right? Because like we're here with the mirrors, so we can, we got the Eastern Palace big key from Pyramid Fairy, right? And then, we're gonna be able to go and beat both dungeons.
All right, so P-Train heading into Hyrule Castle here.
Yeah,
this is different.
Yeah, because especially Relkin, got the 300 off of Pyramid and then left, right? And we also did pick up a Castle Tower small key. So.
Another small key, and it's to Turtle Rock. So, we may see Nep and Relkin go get that. There may be another one along the way.
So this is also pretty interesting, by the way. So P-Train and Ravis did not pick up the 300 either from Pyramid or from Ice Palace, right? They cannot afford the bottle vendor third pod key that Relkin and Nep got. So they're actually going to go into pod now with 2 keys. So I'm going to assume that they'll have to do, what, the Bollock side twice? Is that what it's looking like?
Possibly, yeah.
Right, because, yeah, so I think with 3 keys, Relkin spent 1 in the front, right, and then just went to the back, and then mirrored, and then now is at Helma. But I think without that key, we're not going to be able to use the convenience front door. We're going to have to go, I guess, like, take the back routes.
Alright, so 17 hammer hits on this mask for Relkin on Helm Soar, and then it's going to pop off like so. And with Tempered Sword, just 4 slashes.
Yeah.
Take him down. So is our item here? Also, we're going to Shooter Room on P-Train's side. Is this a pod key?
All of these things that we're not. Okay, all right. I was gonna say, like, we don't need Quake. However, it looks like we're gonna need that green pen. Oh, there is a pod key. Interesting.
Okay, so that's good. They're gonna be fine. They're not gonna lose. I want to say that's kind of a wash. It's cheaper to do that, obviously, like, because they didn't have the money, but
actually, so actually,
faster actually to do that.
Yeah, I was actually just wondering that too. Like, Shooter Room isn't. I mean, while it is a couple of extra rooms there, but it's faster than like fluting and then fluting back, right? No, okay.
It would be just but I think out of convenience, maybe it's all depending on what you have with all that extra money.
Yeah, certainly makes sense.
All right, so there's Tempered for P-Train, and he is going to. That
right,
would explain why Relkin went down to.
Oh yeah,
basement.
gotcha.
That was a heads-up play. I don't know if Nep told him to do that or if he did it on his own, but I was wondering why he did that, and P-Train showing us why he did that.
Yeah, exactly. As the
right
bridge is
over
falling.
my head.
Yeah. All right, this looks like maybe a almost go mode Eastern. Never mind. Relkin picked up a couple extra arrows, but looks like we are going to the probably least frequently visited chest in Eastern Palace, which is the vanilla Vicky chest. But something,
Eastern.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but I think even for non-spoiler logs like or seeds, people is maybe like 50-50 whether or not people actually do this chest. But if someone does this chest in spoiler, like, you 100% like need this item. Like, I don't even know if like half magic or like maybe a sword is worth it, but man, like you really need this like item in order for you to invest a minute into it. Interesting. So that's our last Turtle key.
I want to say that's definitely, if they only need 3, then that's definitely slower than diving into.
Yeah.
Is it? That's tough, man.
It seems slower, but if you've already left Hyrule Castle, I feel like this is probably, and you're here, maybe it's like it's like a viable backup, right? Like,
sure.
Like getting this one is maybe faster than going back to Hyrule Castle and getting it. But if you were there in Hyrule Castle,
4,
yeah,
if
that's true, right?
And Ravis pick it up.
Yeah, it's a very common thing to happen to pilots, to confuse the big chest in Turtle Rock with the big key chest. The big chest, you only need the big key and as you said, 3 small keys, right? If you need the big key chest, you definitely need every single one of the Turtle Rock keys, and you really want to find that out before you go into Turtle Rock. Just
Relkin on 18 or 17 arrows. So,
Relkin.
This is gonna be a fun fight here.
No amount of NMG quick kill Armos he can rely on.
He noticed it, but
this is well, not gonna be okay. So that looks like a required ether medallion for our Meyer and Turtle Rock entries.
Yeah. All right, so P-Train now on Helmasaur as well. Got the hammer hits in, got the mask off. Nicely done.
Yeah. Yeah. With Tempered Sword, certainly a significantly safer fight than with being on Master Sword.
Yeah. All right. So Green Pendant obviously has our progression.
Yeah. Let's see what this is. Aren't you glad we have the spoiler lock for the seed, by the way?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I think that's like the meme that everyone does when they play these. Oh, the TR big. Who?
Wow.
Great.
Wow. Wow. That's so good. We've seen Ice, Samari and Ice Palace. We saw Hammer and Ice Palace. This seed actually is memeier than we initially maybe thought it was.
All right, so P-Train and Ravis have 2 CT smalls. and I am not sure where they got the second one.
So okay, the second CT small came from Saha. Like I think so. Ravis and Peachman just got everything in the back, and then I think Relkin and Nep just got like the first and the third shots.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it looks like maybe we didn't even necessarily need both of them, like either of them, because like Relkin and Nep went out of their. I don't know. I guess I'm not sure. Like where. Neither of them went up to Castle Tower at the time when they both had the availability to. So.
Sure. Yeah. That makes sense. All right, so if P-Train is going up, and he is, so we only need 3 today, and I guess we do need that Thieves Town big chest, because we're grabbing that key.
Mm-hmm. Relkin also needs a rupee.
He does. But we're getting real close. He also needs some arrows. P-Train does too, but P-Train wisely picking up both pots in that room, the NMG strat. But yeah, we're at the point of just needing Fire Rod, Ice Rod, and... that's it, right? Am I losing my mind?
No, I think you're right. You know, we got. Oh, I think did we get GT Big Key at some point?
No, we haven't. We do need that.
Okay. We do actually have a good number of GT small keys, I guess, for what it's worth. I mean, the GT Big Key can very well still be a GT. Like, you know, there's nothing saying that it can't be. So. Yeah.
All right, now P-Train with 22 arrows going to show us how to do the Armos quick kill minus the sword slashy.
Yeah.
His first 5 shots in, and then gets it lined up. Nicely done.
Very nice on. All right, so with the Thieves Down Big Key, then we end up. I mean, Relkin's basically making very fast progress through Thieves Town. He looks like also he's done this once or twice before. Did you see that strat on P-Train's side in order to walk through the portal? So he called the flutes.
Yeah, that's actually pretty smart.
Yeah, that is definitely a new strat. And so yeah, it doesn't even waste it doesn't waste the bomb animation. It doesn't waste any time, right? Because it freezes everything and then now you can just walk straight through.
Yeah.
Man, I learned something new today.
Alright, Relkin clearly looking for arrows. Doesn't go to the big chest. Okay. And a little bit of divergence now. P-Train over in the mire area.
Yeah, looks like we are going to I mean, we're just going in. I mean, we got Tempered Sword. We have, the bow for phase 2. We got blue mail. Everything looks great. And I didn't really even see Relkin pick up anything, I guess, in Thieves Town. Maybe I just missed it. But I mean, especially if it's a go mode.
The only thing we've picked up is the blue cane in the attic.
Okay, that could be a safety. I mean, it could very well be need for Spike Cave, but we're not sure yet. But
I mean, it could be useful for this Vidi fight, just because we're not really on NMG levels of health.
Yeah, but we got a powder up a blind too. That's definitely going to be very helpful, for especially like the end of the dungeon, right, for a heart refill.
Yeah, and I'm also trying to piece things together. Like, you would definitely want to route in a Fire Rod, if possible, before going to Mire. Which is making me feel like the Fire Rod might just be here. Ice Rod and chess game. So
yeah. Not quite the the commentator's blessing nor to call out the item right as we see it, but it's close enough. P-Train also looking for some extra arrows, for phase 2. He got his requisite 8 so far. Relkin, of course, with that extra money. As you said, we got 2 bottles. We've got, whatever, 900 rupees to start with or something on his side. Definitely to pick up a couple safeties.
So yeah, the only thing that would be... Okay, there's that Fire Rod that we wanted. So between the 2 runners now, we are collectively in go mode. I do think I like
minus
Relkin's...
GT Big, right?
Oh yeah, sure. We don't need that where we're going.
Yeah.
I do like Nep and Relkin's route here, just because they were able to pick up 2 safeties with finishing thieves. They got that blue cane, and then also the powder. So if things were to somehow go off the rails here in Mire, you could powder right before.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right before the boss, but yeah, P-Train should be fine. He's got 9 arrows. Does the bottle have anything in it right now?
So I'm pretty sure it was like an empty bottle or something we picked up from Mini Moldarm Cave, and yeah, there was nothing. I will say though, like based on past performance, the fact that P-Train has been managed to survive, like from his last 2 seas yesterday, from basically everything he's kind of gone through today, looks, you know, like every confidence basically for him to be able to get through this fight. But as you did say, to be able to pick up both Berta and Powder, right, is a like significant risk mitigation for if something does go off the rails. Now, so that being said, like the benefit of the risk, you know, reward, is that in this case, if P-Train is successful here, then they can just basically do, you know, Thieves Down into Skull Woods, right, kind of saving themselves that extra village entry.
All right, so P-Train gonna be doing the NMG strats. Gonna have to be very mindful of his health. Gonna not actually do this right side. I do think that's smart.
Yeah, even though we do have blue mail, it is still. This makes me even further to think that we don't have anything in our bottle. Relkin got a heart container out of the bridge chest.
And chat telling us that P-Train does have a green goo, but that's not going to give assistance. And we do have 9 arrows, so we only need 8 of those to finish this Vidi fight and gets it done.
Nice.
So I will always say that going just a little slow if need be is much better than taking a death trying to go fast. So P-Train doing a really good job there.
Oh yeah, and as far as experienced, you know, energy runners as P-Train and Relkin know, if you, well, so Vitri is a very common run ender for NMG, and it is very, very expensive to come back after a death. So.
Oh, and I see one of our trackers, Homemade Beer in chat, also making the comment about routing in some rupees there in Mire for the play into the Village of Outcast area. So that is definitely a heads up play from Ravis, the pilot. To be aware of P-Train's rupee count.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, this is, you know, it's pilot spoiler. You do have 2 people to try and work out a route for you, right? Especially, you know, if Ravis' style certainly has been, at least in the past, to kind of be able to tell P-Train like, okay, this is what's coming up. You're gonna get these chests and these locations. This is where you're gonna get. And then, you know, if either one of them at that point recognizes like, oh, we need chess game, you know, or where am I getting my money from, right? And then it's like, oh yeah, let me go find it. There was, of course, a very, you know, infamous clip, I guess, from one of their previous games for, you know, Ravis and P-Train to P-Train notably observed that they did not have the pod big key before they went into pod, and that definitely saved them, you know, a whole, you know, 1 entry in, you know, before they had to basically go back and scramble and go get it, so.
All right, so solid Vidi fight there from Relkin. Guess we're off to Skull Woods. Now, the other thing that's really good about this route for P-Train and Ravis, they're not going to have to, like, Nep and Relkin have to eat this time of going to this portal again. And granted, it's not that much of a time loss, but, you know, we're in semis. Every second you can shave off, you want to do it.
Yeah, and we actually just see that in this case, P-Train notably did skip the hallway in order to go get he didn't have to go get that small key because, as you said, we picked it up, right, you know, from the wild, so we didn't actually even need it. All right, but looks like though, minus the GT big key, we are pretty much in dungeon clearing mode, right? So P-Train right now are it looks like he skipped the attic, so we're basically just gonna go mode Thieves Town. Looks like nothing really in the front of Skull Woods either. Could still be something in here in the back, but you know, with Temper Sword, I mean, Rock is just gonna, you know, defeat Mothula, and then we're going.
Attic was Berna that P-Train skipped, so he is going to get powder off of blind.
Yeah, that's an incredibly nice safety right before, you know, you go face Mothula in end game basically.
And we do have a bug net on both runners' sides, so like.
Oh yeah, good point.
If things get real hairy, I mean, we could always powder. Both of them are going to be able to powder something and, you know, put it in a bottle, make it a fairy. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, well, we have powder, and then, you know, we can powder one. We can powder both the anti-fairy and the bunny beam up top, right? If we're fortunate, we can take one fairy for a refill, and then take one for our, you know, our bottle for the road. Relkin did notably use one of his blue potions right before the Vitreous fight too, so he also does have room in this case if he wants another fairy.
Yeah. All right, P-Train
Yeah.
taking on Blind now. Very scripted fight. It's
Nothing's ever gone wrong though on the
it's-
script, right?
yeah, well, it's something I think a lot of people just take for granted because of remembering the pattern. Like you do it so many times. Like P-Train made that look super easy.
Yeah, there are a lot of things, especially when you kind of switch over from like rando, to maybe more to trying to, optimize rooms at MG, is when you really start to notice, right? Like there are all of these kind of like inconsistencies or soft optimizations like that happen, and then when you try and like correct them, you're like, oh my gosh, I've been doing this wrong for my entire time. All right, so this
Well,
is
now
gonna be...
I'm genuinely curious where that GT Big Key is going to show up, but
Yeah.
we've gone 48 minutes without us touching the log. I think I'm gonna just
All right,
experience
sounds
the ride.
good. Sounds good. Yeah. I mean, so we have one more dungeon that we still need to go through, which in this case is Turtle Rock, right? And as noted, we only need 3 small keys, which means I can hopefully, with confidence, say that the GT Big Key is not in the vanilla Big Key chest of Turtle Rock. Otherwise, both runners and pilots are going to be very, very sad.
It's gonna be a Keck W moment for everyone.
Yep.
Look at that. The spoiler log was right. It was ether.
Oh yeah,
all
it was
along.
ether for both medallions even. Amazing. Yeah, and I think so one of the, I guess, like early on decisions, right, in order to get P-Train a little bit more health, right, was that P-Train ended up coming over here to Super Bunny in order to get 2 heart containers, which I think this is going to be Relkin and Nep's first time in.
Yeah, first time in the Dark World area.
Yeah. Kind of interesting. I mean, like both runners, or in this case, both pilots took fairly different routes, honestly.
Yeah.
Very nice fight there on P-Train's side. Like a very solid 9 out of 10 there.
Yeah, getting it done. Oh man, the Chomp's cooperating for
I know. The
That
Chomp
is-
dash always really
That's what you
good to
pray
see.
for.
Yeah, so this is kind of when, at the point of the race where pilots probably have a little bit of easier time just because there's not as many things that they still need to go find for the runner. And so it's kind of more now, for, in this case, Relkin and P-Train to just basically play their game, execute through, and, hopefully nothing bad happens to them.
Yeah, this is the point where the pilot could either, watch the restream or just say, all right, good luck. I'm gonna go get a snack before game 2.
Yeah, and it's especially for I'm not sure what Nep necessarily likes to do, if she likes to keep a tab on the race all the time. I think Ravis tends to really like as much mental capacity as he can give the other runner, he will, especially in this case now where I think the only thing outstanding is going to be the GT Big Key, and so he's probably just constantly telling P-Train like, okay, this is where they are, and that certainly is it's very good in order to be able to keep track of where your opponent is, right? So in this case, like if you're ahead of your opponent, you don't have to necessarily make as like riskier plays, right? Because it's like you can afford to wait the 3 seconds or whatever, and not take damage, right? Versus like you can't lose these 3 seconds. I think you need to go, type of thing. Versus, whereas you're behind, it's like, well, you know what? Maybe you don't need to go out of your way for this extra heart container, right? Type of thing.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if Nep and Relkin decide to pick up those Super Bunny ones. They're a little out of the way, but it would add a little bit of extra safety given their situation. They do have a little bit of, they have quite the lead as far as, this dungeon goes, so I think they could swing that time as a safety.
Yeah, it's actually a good point because so I think a lot of the time difference kind of seemed like there was an unfortunate mini Moldorm K death on P-Train's side earlier. While it was not like the end of the world, it was still bootsless. We gotta walk back over, to mini Moldorm. I think there were probably some other just kind of like a slower, like Ice Palace. I think Welcome did a really nice job, and just with the loadout and how dangerous Cold Steer can be, right? It's just a very highly variable time fight. Getting nipped there on Trinex, but still, as long as he doesn't get hit again, he should be fine.
He does have Blue Cane if he gets a little scared, but gets it done.
Yeah.
P-Train picking up some more arrows, getting up to 17. Meanwhile, Relkin's arrow count up to 22. Should we have to do Ice Armos today for that GT Big Key?
Very good point. Very good point.
We are within range of being able to get up to the 18, and then I think there's enough where we would not have to worry about the mimics too bad, or having a mimic clip rather.
Yeah, no, that's actually very good observation. Like in that, like initially I thought I was like, well, maybe we're not gonna see silvers, today, if we're gonna try and maybe like stock compensates. But yeah, like if we still need those arrows in order to go, if we have to go beat Ice Armos. Relkin, I think rightfully so, right? Learned his lesson from Armos 1 that you would like at least 18 arrows going into that fight versus
maybe
17.
you might. All right, we're open in GT, so there's what's left. The only thing that could lead to the GT Big Key in my head outside of GT is the cape for Bumper Cave, or
oh gosh,
maybe
oh my gosh, imagine that scene.
one of the big keys to like Desert or Hera. So I'm assuming we're just gonna get it in here.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. I mean, it could be, one. Oh, is it here? Is it like right, literally here?
Okay.
Look at that.
So Relkin's mirroring and doesn't have a key. So I wonder if there's one upstairs.
Good thing we got boots.
Good thing we got boots.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's actually
assume
a very good point.
I'll assume there's a key upstairs at this point.
Yeah, that was actually a very good point as well. I wonder where silvers are in this case. If we had to go out of our way in order to go get some arrows, so
probably beside the small key in Mini Helma, we'll say.
Yeah.
Maybe it's pre-Moldorm. Who knows?
Yeah, no, that could be too. Yeah. All right, Relkin, he is done. Relkin. We are unfortunately getting a little bit bully here on the spikes. I mean, he does.
P-Train.
Yeah, P-Train is also, simultaneously getting Aria's fight in Trinex. Alright, looks like Relkin's gonna not take the safety room. He does have 3 hearts going up, and he does have a potion.
There's a
Hello, fairy! Hello, fairy!
Alright, P-Train clutching it out on the 1 heart, getting it done.
Alright, look at this nice fire rod usage on Relkin. Oh, the big magic refill is just as tempting and bad as a heart. It's like you lose not only like time or health just in order to get it, and you don't even get anything on your turn.
Yeah, it's wisely not going for that heart though. I was tempted myself to, like, in my head I was like, go get it. Yeah, looks like we are gonna opt to do some amount of fire rod and the spins, which is fine. Okay. All right.
So I'm guessing Relkin's probably he's gonna use lamp in the back for sure. I don't know if he's gonna need to burn that potion. Does he have enough magic for the torches?
I don't know. No, definitely. Oh,
well. Oh, he does now. If he didn't before.
All right.
Oh, that is. I don't know if Relkin knew that, by the way, that the Wizards are going to be in the magic pack, but. Okay, we definitely have
P-Train also mirroring, which does make me really believe that there is a key up here. Like I was on the edge of my seat there for a minute, thinking, all right, what's gonna happen when P-Train goes here?
No, actually,
if there's not a key up here, that swings the race like entirely that fast.
Yeah, actually, so if there's a key up here, I guess it's still faster than going over and stealing the key from the pot, right? Because like you don't have to taking more screen transitions, right? Like if one is here, for example, right?
And then there's the other one. Okay.
All right.
Well, I was wrong about the silvers being right beside it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's even in the good chest too, like the small key. A nice no bomb animation there for on Relkin's side.
I love it. It freaks me out every time I see it, but I love it. Let's see, Relkin getting forced into the corner.
Yeah,
this is why
but did
we
not
don't
get
fight
knocked
this
off.
boss.
Yeah, exactly. I'm actually like. Do you think Relkin is a confident hoverer, a consistent hoverer? We're gonna.
You can do it when the pressure's on, and just like P-Train, I just don't know if like either one of them would want to break it out as like
very
a
fair. Very
time
fair.
save type thing.
Yeah.
Risk versus reward scenarios.
Yeah, no, totally fair. I will say that Relkin also did pick up a namesake Relkin shield. It is only the small fighter shield, but you know we're gonna end on a shield on Relkin's side.
I wonder if Nep told Relkin that was silver.
Silvers look like a shield, just an alternate spelling. That's all.
Oh man, we got a blue ball there, but that's a really good pattern. Both of these runners are going to get to. They could have got the double or double triple. That's what I was trying to say. But P-Train having a solid Lambo 2 fight and is making his way up to Wizrobes 1. Now this still isn't over.
Oh yeah. No, we still gotta go beat Ganon. Things have happened on Ganon before, so.
Indeed.
Oh no, unfortunately, P-Train not quite getting the one cycle for Wizrobes 2. It's okay. He also was
odd how that happened
Yeah,
there.
it looks. Yeah, but he also ended up getting the big magic from the Wizrobe, so magic is not going to be too big of a concern here. Alright, Relkin, his setup looks good for the 1-on-1 so far. We're just gonna pull out Burn Up, no problem.
Yeah,
we got a potion. You know, that's not useful to anyone if once the game's over. You know, it's like you have the elixir, you can use it now. You have no more game to play after this.
P-Train has forgotten a key. Please go back. Please. Oh, we're gonna find out when we touch the door. Go back. Go back.
Oh no, go back. It's okay. It's very, very close. Oh man, Desert Palace. All right, so my guess is the silvers are on right side desert because it sounds like because we were already kind of in Mire or maybe like in the area.
Yeah.
Maybe it would not have been so bad in order to go get like the torch or something, or even like the map chest. But if you have to go out anywhere for that Desert Palace small key, it does not seem very good. Oh, we hovering? Oh, that's unfortunate.
I respect the attempt.
Well, you know, so from yesterday, you know, Moldorm bullied P-Train so much, as in, like, he got knocked off basically 3 times between Moldorm 1 and 2.
Oh, no.
So I can very much understand that he does not want to deal with this boss.
And I'm not counting on Relkin's side, but that's 12.
Yeah.
All right.
Alright, yeah, big GG's for Relkin and Nep taking on Game 1. They played very, very well. Relkin absolutely following through in terms of execution. You know, we kind of saw both routes, you know, that it was very aggressive, especially early game, right? Diving into Ice Palace with, what, nothing, essentially?
Yeah.
Yeah, no fire rod, in particular. Yeah, and they survived, so very, very well done.
Yeah, both runners doing a fantastic job on that. All right, and P-Train taking on Aga 2 here. Gonna just finish this out. All right, just gotta drop in to Ganon. Normal NMG Ganon, just less health. You know, the idea is the same. Don't take a hit, do some spins, do some slashes.
Yeah, and you know, right now, like P-Train, the fact that he's on 5 parts and Blue Mail for that matter, like he can, you know, just like Relkin, he could take in, you know, 1 fire bats, you know, worth of damage and still be okay.
Yeah.
And you know, and especially, you know, if Aura tried it for that matter, you know, but you know, he's still able to get into position. And if, especially even in this case, you just kind of follow the quote unquote script, right? For, you know, NMG, you know, Ganon, you should be fine. Yeah, looks good for the 1-on-1. Just gotta get through the warps. Yeah, and then as you said, we're just gonna take a, you know, make sure we get the torch glitch. We're just gonna kind of take a couple spins, you know, give or take, and then we can let the runners maybe take a little bit of a break, and then move on to game 2.
No break, only gaming.
No, yeah, true.
All right, so I am curious to see where in desert those were.
Yeah,
right, so
my guess
the big
is
key chest. It was right
okay.
side.
All right, so it was even the second chest. So where's the Desert Palace small key? Out of curiosity.
Hold please.
Okay, no worries.
But yeah, like Beer was saying, I wonder if stealing the key would have been beneficial. So that was in Zelda Cell.
Oh, okay. So that definitely was not happening. But yeah, so stealing the key. Okay, how early would we have gone to Mire? It certainly would have saved a lot of time for the Vitreous fight, like 100%, right? And you would have definitely gotten that time back, especially probably for for P-Train's side, because he also didn't have burnout, right? Because they did Mire before Thieves Town. So take that, we do get it for Phase 4 Ganon. Actually could have probably been, a wash or if not better. But definitely GG's now.
Possibly.
Yes, yeah, P-Train
and GG's
and
there
Ravis
to
have finished.
P-Train and Ravis.
Yeah. They played also very, very well. I mean, I think both routes were actually very, very solid. They're hyper aggressive, but I mean, like, you've got the runners to pull off the execution. Like, you absolutely take advantage of it.
Right. Yeah, and like honestly, like kudos to P-Train. Like it's very hard when you take a death early on, like he did in Mini Mulder Cave.
Yeah.
And granted, like I think maybe that's what roughly a minute. That's still like on your mind. So like, kind of pushing that off and still executing very well through the rest of the seed. Like there's something to say about that.
Yeah, and honestly, I think like just part of the early route where Ravis basically had like a whole extra minute, right, to kind of like plan things out. The early retrieval to Bombos, I think, was actually very, very good, right? It definitely saved some time in order to be able to just do that like immediately.
Yeah, all things considered, it was either a wash or a little bit of a time save. They did have a little bit of trouble setting up that.
Oh yeah, that's true too. Yeah, that's true.
But Relkin and Nep had to run out. Granted, they did have the boots for that. Or I think they both did at that point. But were able to dash out. That's not too terribly long, so probably a wash with the two runners in that case.
Yeah, and I think like from what it seemed like, right, the third Turtle Rock small key, the one that was from in the front of Pyro Castle was probably that was probably like the faster one to get versus like the Eastern Palace one. But
I'd say probably
maybe, yeah.
So we see on Relkin's side there was a collection rate of 71.
It is ridiculously high, by the way. I mean, they had to do a bunch of stuff, right? They had to go kill Helma, like pendant, green pendant Helma. Couldn't even save him quit out of it, right? Because they needed the prize for Saha.
Yeah, usually you see somewhere in the 60s, we're talking about like 10 items maybe, but definitely on the higher side on average, I'd say.
Yeah, no, yeah, and if we're fortunate, right? Maybe we get a like some fast dungeons. We don't have to maybe go. Maybe we have an actual pendant pod, an actual pendant Turtle Rock that we don't have to go into, right? And a couple of fast dungeons, you can easily see your collection rate being in like the like the low 50s or something like that.
All right, so from what we understand, we are having a 5-minute break.
Yes.
And okay.
And also just jumping in here, Zelda words. I can speak today. The main channel of Zelda Speedruns has opened up, so we'll be jumping game 2 over there. I've already gone live on the countdown for that channel, so we're gonna go raid them right now, and we'll be starting up the game 2 in about 5 or so minutes.
All right, we'll see you all there.
Heck yeah.